All right, guys, we're back. We just took a quick break so we could all, reset a little bit and, recenter our chakras.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Say it funny.
Oh, yeah, Kakashi, the copy ninja.
All right.
I have a question I think is kind of interesting. So, Silvana, who is currently on her phone right now.
Sorry.
She had mentioned that she'd been on a podcast before, something about dating, whatever.
Yeah.
And this is an official question, so you guys got to start picking cards again. What is the craziest date you've ever been on? You got to pick like one. It could be from an app. It could be from anywhere. Like a friend.
I've never been on a date.
Who has to say otherwise?
Shut up.
Honestly, I can't even answer that because I was in a relationship for like
Thanks, John.
7 years.
Damn.
Yeah.
There's gotta be like one. Come on, like one thing.
I can't even say that because like.
You don't have to name names. You just tell us about something. Come on, you got it. You got this.
Like a crazy date or something.
Yeah, like what's the craziest experience you've ever had when you were out with a guy romantically?
I can't even answer that.
It could be your boyfriend when you guys started up, or it could be like
A rando.
a rando. It could be literally anyone.
I honestly don't
It's
have
all
any.
normal?
Yes. I mean, like it wasn't anything like I don't have any crazy stories because like I haven't been on dates with like a bunch of guys. Like I've never done that before. So like, I can't even tell you.
You sound like Chris over here. Chris is like
Sex.
he doesn't date. He just has girlfriends. They just
Savage.
like he has female friends.
What are you talking about? I don't have girlfriends.
I'll just explain what I said.
Okay.
He has female friends, and then they just fall in love with him, and he picks one, and then he dates them.
Aww.
That's pretty much what happened
Oh no.
in his most recent relationship.
It's mutual.
Of course, it's mutual. Okay, fair enough. Cassidy, your turn.
Sorry, Karen was texting me.
That's great. When she's on the podcast, we'll ask for her opinion.
What's the
Her
craziest
craziest
date?
date. Actually, her and my dad were middle school sweethearts. So
Aww.
they were.
Okay. You still have to wait. She still has to pick a card.
Oh right. Sorry. 6. So what is that?
I mean,
6 plus 6 is 12.
all right. You gotta send somebody. Send a shot their way.
Give it to you, Emily. Give you a shot. You want 4?
Get away with that one shot.
Sorry.
You're good.
Yes, you're up.
You're spooning it.
I'm forking it.
I'm not a joker.
Joker, Mike.
All right, here we go.
Batman question.
Let's keep it even more simple than the last one.
Because I didn't even know the last one.
There are only 2 jokers in the deck, so these are the only 2 questions we're getting.
No, I'm looking for
Actually, no. How much do you really know about like comic books and stuff? Probably nothing, right?
I know, Marvel.
Marvel movies.
You watch Marvel
That doesn't really
You
help.
watch Marvel movies. You want to ask
Ask
a question
like
about that?
Batman's sidekick or something.
No, it's got to be a Joker related question.
Oh.
Uh,
The Joker's girlfriend.
That's fair. Yeah. What is the name of the Joker's girlfriend?
The one.
Oh.
Isn't it Quinn Harley? Harley Quinn?
Harley
Definitely.
Quinn. Yes, and follow up. Let's see if you get it.
Harley Quinn.
Who's the actress that plays her in like all the movies?
That I don't know. Margot Robbie.
Yes.
Oh,
Okay.
she's
Savannah. Gotcha.
You're welcome.
I knew
All
the
right.
name.
That's why I'm here.
That's good. That was a good one, Chris. Thank you.
Now she has to answer the question.
Answer the question.
The crazy. I mean, like Silvana, I was dating someone from high school throughout college, like in college on and off, but I wasn't seeing anybody
Like that.
Like that. Crazy. And then I started dating someone recently.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't go on dates like that.
This is the. I don't
I'm
think
sorry.
that's a
Like
question.
trauma.
What about like
Oh my
something
God.
because I feel like trauma
weird
is easier.
happened to you. Yeah.
Or like something like because like
I
in
can
my
talk
head,
about
when I
trauma. I
think
could do
about
that.
Guys,
feel like it's easy.
I was just segueing off of like what Silvana said. I thought it would be interesting because usually girls have these interesting stories. No one's ever hit on you, and it was like an awkward experience. Like, come on, let's keep it as simple as possible if we have to.
I mean, like hitting on me when someone asked me if my hair was real or if my
Your
body was
body.
real.
If your body's
My
real, yeah.
teeth is-
That's a funny one though. That's really
Yeah,
funny.
I've gotten is my body. I've got is my body real? Is my butt real? Are my lips real? And are my hair? Is my hair real? I've gotten that.
Are your ligaments real?
Yeah, is everything on me real?
Your ligaments real.
Is your left aorta real?
I know.
Oh my
Like,
Is your
and
refrigerator
then
running?
and then there was one time
You
at
know
a
that
bar.
joke?
Someone asked me if I
People
paid
prank
for
call
my
your house.
dimples,
Hey,
and I'm like,
Is
how do
your
you pay for
refrigerator
dimples?
running?
What the fuck?
And they're like, yes, and you're
Apparently,
like,
you
better
can
go catch it.
like get your
No?
cheeks
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
stupid.
pierced
It's like a
and they
stupid
make
joke.
dimples.
Like a prank
Oh,
call
like
thing.
inside?
No, like you can actually get your cheeks pierced and
Yes,
they make
they
dimples.
have little studs that they put
Yeah,
in
so
there.
someone
Yeah.
asked me one night, they were like, "Oh, like did you get your
That's not
cheeks
bad.
pierced?"
It
I'm
is. I could show you.
Like, yeah, I was like, "What do you mean my cheeks pierced?" And they're like, "Oh, because you have dimples." I'm like, "No, I was born with them."
I'm good.
You sure?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, okay.
John wants to pierce his.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
I prefer a belly button piercing.
On a guy or on a girl?
Well, I mean, versus cheek piercing.
Yeah,
Oh,
what's
yeah,
what's
yeah,
the
yeah.
opinion on belly button piercing on a girl?
Oh, that's a good one, yeah.
I mean, is that the new question? Because then we have to
Well, let's
start
roll
picking
with it.
cards
We can
again.
just
Just
have-
roll
Yeah,
with
I
it.
feel
Just
like
roll
we're-
with it.
Roll with it.
I enjoy it. I think that's cool. I don't really like
Why are you
care
so
either
weird?
way.
Okay. Chris, what do you think?
What is the opinion?
Do you like
What
a
is?
clean or a belly button ring?
I mean, I like it clean.
It honestly, I think they're cool. They can be unique pieces of jewelry, but it's not really a deal breaker. Like, it doesn't. I don't think about it. If I
Right,
ask
right.
Someone, do they have a belly piercing or not? Like, I don't care.
Right.
They
Okay.
look good, but they also don't really lend
They don't-
anything.
Because I
Yeah,
know
wow.
some guys
It
where like
doesn't
if
really
you have
matter.
tattoos or like a
Yeah.
belly piercing where it's a deal breaker.
What about
Like, for
tattoos?
worse.
No, tattoos look good on girls.
Yeah.
Like
But like
Like,
how?
I
sleeve, like a
had-
sleeve on a girl.
Like I've had someone at like
I'm just saying. Like I meant like no, don't, no, that's not what I meant. That's not what I meant. Okay,
Sorry.
that's fair.
Interesting.
No. For context, John was with me when I was like talking to this girl out in Patchogue this one time, and she happens to have a sleeve, so he's just referencing that. Okay. Do you have any like interesting dating stories, or is this? Can no one relate to this question at all?
if you talk about trauma, we can talk about that. So I got stories for you.
Yeah,
I
but I
wasn't-
feel like when you ask, like, to me, like, not like the one about school with you came to mind
Which one?
when I went to go get Wendy's with like Jamie.
Oh,
But that's not. But that's not like. It's not.
Oh, I
like
could've
what's bad,
talked
But it's
about
like
that.
it's like. But that's just not like something weird. It's something like weird, I guess.
All right, let's take a quick like shift. Like, what are you talking about when you discuss Trump? Like, what do you mean by that?
So I'll be honest. Like I mean,
You need to be careful.
yeah. So when I was when I was dating my ex from like high school, like all throughout high school, into halfway into college, even like during college, during
No,
college
you're
or whatever. When we the reason why we broke up is because he was on Tinder, and as we were celebrating our anniversary, I was over literally right from work. I took a shower. He was swiping through Tinder, ends up super liking, and at the time I had no idea what that was. He ended up super liking my cousin.
Oh shit!
Whoa.
Emotional, damn it!
So he ended up super liking my cousin, and then recently, well, not really. Was it recently? Kind of. Recently, I was kind of like back and forth with this one guy, and I knew like he was like in a little like sticky situation, like even from like beforehand, and I thought he was already out of it. Turns out the sticky situation that he was in was one of my cousins.
Oh my god!
Keeping
Your
it in the
cousins, man.
fam.
Yo, seriously,
But from different sides, that's the best part.
was it the same guy?
No.
Okay, so you've been on are these dates, or you're just
Well-
talking, or like
It's just
Well-
situations.
Well, no, the one with
you know all about that, right?
one
Tom?
with my one cousin with Tinder. I was in a relationship with him. I was celebrating like our 6-year anniversary. I'm not gonna lie.
Run that back. You were celebrating your 6-year anniversary, and he was talking to your cousin.
So I'll literally tell you, I got out of work. He was like, all right, like, I'll come pick you up. I was like, all right, like, do you care, like, if I shower at your house? He's like, no, I don't give a fuck. I was like, all right. So if you're already ready, I'm going to shower, all that. So I'm in the shower, and he's in his room, and he's just swiping, but I had no idea. And then my cousin that night was like, yo, are you home? I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm actually, like, out with so-and-so right now. And she was like, okay, but, like, when you get home, you need to call me. And I was like, okay. So I get home, I call her, and she was like, yo, are you still with... So I was like, yeah, I am. And she was like, well, he just super liked me on Tinder. And I go, what the hell is that? Like, I knew what Tinder was, but I didn't know, like, the logistics of Tinder. And she told me. So she's like, can I see you tomorrow? I'm like, yeah, like, come over. So she comes over and she shows me his profile. She shows me the messages back and forth. I'm just like, and I saw the timestamp when he super liked her. I was like, yo, like, I was in the shower at this time. I was literally getting ready to go out with him.
Wow.
And then, and then I told her, I was like, keep it going, because I'm supposed to see him in 2 days. And she goes, are you sure? I'm like, no, like, keep it going, because I'm, like, fucking crazy like that. I was like, keep it going. So then I'm just like, texting him, like, normal. And then I said, listen, I'm supposed to see him in 2 days. Why don't you say, like, the day of, like, I want to see you. So she's like, okay. So she does that. And then...
Ooh, that's so dangerous.
So and I tell her, I'm like, today do you want to see him? And she's like, okay. So then I text him saying, like, hey, we're on for tonight. He was like, yeah, like, no problem, babe. Like, I can't wait to see you, blah, blah, blah. He was like, I have this whole thing planned out. I'm like, all right. And then I tell her, I'm like, send a text message. She sends it. He was like, all right, yeah, I'll move things around. Like, I want to see you, too. He calls me up, and he was like, hey, babe, listen, I got to stay late at work. And I'm like,
oh, God.
I'm like, okay. I was like, yeah, no problem. I was like, all right, like, yeah, no problem. Like, I'll just, I think I'm gonna stay late at work too. He was like, okay. Like,
what's the chances? You both have to stay late at work that day.
I was like, yeah, I think I'm just gonna like stay late, like pick up a few hours, you know. And he was like, because at the time we were also planning a trip, and I was like, I'll just like do that. He was like, yeah, no problem. So I did that, and then I was hysterical crying. My mom had to come pick me up from work, and then she's like, what am I supposed to do? I'm like, we're gonna go. And she goes, we're gonna go. I'm like, we're gonna go. I'll be in the back seat. And she was like, all right then.
Whoa.
So we go. He opens the car door. He goes, oh my god, like you look more gorgeous in person.
Mm-hmm.
I go, yeah, because we're fucking related, you asshole. And he was just like,
surprise, motherfucker.
and then he was like, oh my god, you set me up. And then like, yeah.
What do you mean set him up?
he
Man's
said
on Tinder.
Yeah. But then fast forward a few years later, they know about this story. TikTok. And the girl,
man.
a few years later, me and him, like, we're texting again back and forth.
Why would you be...
This is what I want to know.
Yeah, what is...
You know,
what's
it was like one
going
of those, like, he was my
It's
first,
just
like...
fun in the moment.
He was my
But
first,
the both
like...
of them are just like so bad with that shit. I can't. And I'm just sitting there. I'm like, what? Like,
He was my first boyfriend. He was my first kiss. He was my first time, like, for literally everything. And I was with him for 6 years. So I'm like,
Right.
you know what? Maybe like now we're a few years older. We're not like the same. We're not the same people anymore. Maybe like he matured.
Your part.
Oof.
Dumb on my part. Ends up having a girlfriend while he's messaging me.
That seems to be his MO.
And I didn't know this because we were like steadily seeing each other for like 2 months, and out of nowhere my TikTok starts blowing up to the point where my aunt sees it. It started going viral because his ex-girlfriend, well now his ex-girlfriend at the time, and her friends were commenting on my video saying, oh, you can run but you can't hide, we know what you did, you're just equally at fault. I'm like, what the hell is going on? And they're like, oh, like you're cheating, like you're stealing my boyfriend from me. And I was like, I didn't even know you existed. I've been texting him since forever, honestly.
Right.
I was like, he even said like he still loves and misses me, and he's with you. And I just left it at that. So yeah,
Wow.
yeah. And then we saw him at the bar one night. He kissed a bartender right in front of me, and that was not his girlfriend.
Whoa, this guy.
Sounds like a great guy.
Wow.
Yeah, he's a really good guy.
Wow. Just
Yeah.
I don't even have a sound effect for any of this.
I don't think anyone could top that.
Sorry.
At least
Yeah.
I know.
Oh my gosh.
I do have something that's not not traumatic, but it's kind of funny in that aspect. I had a. Let me take a card though.
Yeah, go for it.
I got a 9, so I'm safe right now.
Cool.
I had a stalker in college, and Emily can vouch for me because she was in the class that the stalker was
Oh my
in.
god, yeah.
She can help me tell the story.
Stop
Wait,
it.
what's this?
Oh my god. That was funny.
No, different.
Different stalker.
Different.
No.
John's got a lot of, you know.
He does.
hoes. Yeah.
John
You know-
gets bitches.
John's saucy.
does.
Yeah.
John-
I've come to learn that actually. Well, you guys are all here for the fact that like I've gotten to know you guys. We wanted to have you on the podcast, but the more I get to know John's friends from school, I'm just like so amazed. Like he used to hang out with me and Chris. We used to play video games, do ping pong at their house, like, and he would be talking. He'd be like, all my sorority friends, like I got all these girls, they love me, like they hype me up all the time, blah blah blah. And me and Chris would just laugh.
He didn't say it like that. I also
no,
didn't make
paraphrasing.
fun of him because
You guys made fun
I
of me
knew
a
it was.
lot.
No, he knows.
I made fun
Don't
of
even
him, but I
start.
knew it was real. I
You made
meant
fun of me the most, Chris.
So
He's trying to
no.
No, but John was honestly like throughout college. Like I can genuinely say, like if I needed someone like from like to save me from a situation, I would be like John. And he's done that so many times where I'm like John. Like only John would get me out of situations. Honestly,
That sounds right. John's always been like that. I knew he was a boss.
He's a very stable force.
no, he is. Like when I got into the fight with the girl that threw up on my shoes, he was the only one that could honestly like he pulled me away. He was like, yo, like you need to stop. Like he was the only one that could put me in my place. I'm not gonna lie, he can. Like
You guys just
he's good for
gassing me
that.
up right now. Like you guys too inflated.
He's single.
is John C.
Anyway. So back to the
so
stalker.
long.
So Emily can explain how she acted in class, but she would.
Yeah.
It was a 3-hour class, honors class, so way
So
up there.
bad.
She was in another sorority that I didn't really talk to, but she would sit on the opposite end of the class and just stare at me for 3 hours.
Yeah, no, it was
So her eyes would be in I could feel them drilling into the back of my head. And
Everybody just wanted John's.
like
everybody
they
wanted
did
him.
though.
Right.
It was like
me and Emily we'd come to class together, and we would sit together, and we would leave
Right.
together. So I don't know what idea she was having, but she would give Emily like the meanest looks
Yeah.
of all time.
like I could
Oh.
definitely like take her. Like I wasn't scared,
Yes.
but like I was honestly like low key kind of scared because like this
The
girl.
crazy in the eyes.
Yeah.
She had the
Because, like,
adrenaline
you know
advantage.
when you like look at somebody and you're like honestly like if we got into a fight like I could take you like I could take her, but at the same time like I didn't
She
know
had the crazy.
because she had those eyes like if you touch that man like I will kill you, and I was like
Yeah.
oh. And like again, like we would come into class together. Like I text him, we'd meet up, walk in together, leave together.
we did all the assignments together.
Right, all our projects were together, and she would literally sit like across the room where she could see us. And like John wouldn't look at her, but I would because he like pointed her out one day, and I was like, "Oh, like really? Like you have a stalker?" And he's like, "Yeah, she stares at me like all class." So I looked and I noticed, and she was literally staring at him all like those whole 3 hours. And like sometimes
for
like
all semester.
like the whole semester when I would talk, she'd give me the death stare, but then John would talk and she'd stare and she'd like smile. And I'm like, bro, like what is going on? Like anytime and like
I was just existing. I didn't even do it.
but that was your class too. Like what was it, marketing?
It
or
was
something?
marketing.
Like I had no idea what was going on in that class. I don't know how I
You still
got
got
through
that
that
fat
class.
A.
Yeah, but I don't know how. Like it was because of John, because if not I would have failed. But like that was John's class. And like so whenever there was a question, whatever, the professor loved him. So like John was always like raising his hand, and every single time she would just like sit there and like look at him like you know with her eyes, and she was like, oh my
John
God.
gets bitches.
I was like, what the
He
fuck?
does.
And then I would talk, she'd be like I was like, okay, like
But that's called
I'm not-
so in his sorority when you guys had like the boy auction, whatever.
Yeah.
So again, he didn't want certain people to to get the highest bid and take him on a date. So he was like, "Yo, Cass, like you got to do the highest bidder." I'm like, how much money are we talking?
Well, I was afraid it would have been my stalker. To
Yeah.
be honest.
Yeah.
Oh
That
my
one?
gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Well,
can
there's
see
a
that.
part two that I don't know if I've told you guys about this. So there was one time we had a open mixer at my frat house, which the location shall stay unnamed. And it was like the party was winding down. There's a couple of sororities there, the dance teams there, cheerleaders, whatever. And the party's winding down. And I may or may not have had a few drinks at the time. And I was wearing I'm a big Washington Capitals fan. Hockey
like I
fan.
remember this.
Yes. So I was wearing my Washington Capitals t-shirt. And this stalker, like, materializes out of the ground, bro. I didn't see her the whole night.
Yeah, you
And it's like 4 hours into this party, and it's like 1 a.m. and like people are starting to leave and take Ubers.
Right.
And I'm like, okay, great. I'm just chilling with the guys, and I'm downstairs, and she like appears out of nowhere. It's like she's like, hey, I know you from somewhere.
Yes.
And I don't. Someone was there to witness this. I don't remember who it was, but she came up and started talking to me, and I'm like a little. I had a few drinks.
Yeah.
So I just started. She's like, "Oh, I'm from Maryland. I love the Capitals. They're my favorite team." And part of me is like, "Oh, she's making this up. She's not from Maryland. She doesn't know."
I can see the girl in my head right now.
I don't know if you know her.
Is she? No, she's in.
Don't say it, but I'll say it later.
We'll talk about that later. But I'm like, and I start going through the entire Capitals roster of all my favorite players. And okay, so I start trying to explain how much I love this team and that they won the Stanley Cup in 2018, and she's agreeing with me and acting like she understands what I'm talking about. And now she's starting to mix up names and make names up now. And I'm like, this doesn't make any sense. You don't really like this team.
Yeah, me too.
But I couldn't say that to her, so I was like,
I
okay.
would have said it.
But I had a few drinks.
You know how John is.
I wasn't going to say anything. So then I think one of her friends.
Yeah.
Well, I said, I'm leaving now. I said I made up that I was leaving. And she's like, oh, yeah, I gotta go too. And then she got on an Uber, but I stayed at the frat house for another 2 hours. So I disappeared for like 30 minutes to make it think that I left.
That was
Right.
during our, that was in the time period of when we were taking that marketing class.
Yeah, that was during that period.
Yeah,
It was
because I
towards
remember
the
you
end.
came back and you told me the story.
Right.
I was like,
But she literally lied to my face about something that I cared about. And that was it. If she
One
had
of
a
the
straw,
three things you
that
care
was
about.
Right.
She could have lied about the car. She could have lied about the Capitals. Actually, there's only two.
No, Destiny.
He
Probably.
doesn't care about that.
But I'm surprised because she talked to you there, but every
Like,
time
she
we
was
walked
trying to
in,
make
she
a move.
never said anything to you.
But listen,
Lowe's?
she would I would be in a conversation about
It's gotta
something
be
like
one more
a
thing.
and she would start
Stocks and
dancing
bonds.
and not paying attention to me and trying to rub up on me. And I was like, no, we gotta talk about what I want to talk about. No, listen to what I have to say. And that's how buzzed or sauced I was. And she did not care what I had to say. She was just trying to physically touch me, and I was able to get out of that situation.
No, that's rough. I know your pain, man.
I mean,
Really weird. And then I never talked about any of my hobbies at the party ever again.
I mean,
It's
show
fun.
me a picture later. That's all I have to say.
I think I still
No,
follow her.
it wasn't.
Yeah?
It wasn't worth it.
No?
I think I do. She never messaged me. She never.
I think didn't she follow? I remember she followed one of us. If she was already following you, then I think she followed me.
She followed you.
I think
afterwards.
she followed me, and I was
She
like,
was
oh
tracking.
damn! I was like, she's coming after me now. Because I swear, every time I talked, again, we would talk and everything, and every time I would talk to him, she wanted to kill me.
But-
I saw it in her
So
face.
after that frat party, she sat in the same row as us. Remember that one
Yes.
time? She sat 2 seats away from me.
Yes.
So there's our row is just me and Emily, and there's no one else for the next 5 seats. So instead of sitting next to me, she sits 2 seats away from me on switches sides of the room a semester in. It's like the last few classes.
Hmm.
And then she starts trying to talk to me in class or before class starts.
She got bold.
She got
She
bold.
got desperate. She got bold.
Exactly. And I think at that time I was sitting in the middle because you arrived late to that
I
class or
always
something.
showed up late.
So I was sitting in the middle. So she was a seat away from me, and I moved 1 seat over to sit next to you. And then she
Yes.
didn't say anything for the rest of the
Yes.
class. I think that did it for her. But
Oh yeah.
and that wasn't really traumatic. That's not really a crazy story, but it's just kind of fun.
That's a little traumatic.
It's
I can see.
traumatic.
A lot of
I had
people
to
would
sit there
be.
too, and
Well, you got to
I had to
witness
take
that.
it too. I had to take it too, though. She wanted
No.
to kill me.
I wish I told my guys. I forgot to tell them that night to keep her away from me, but I just had to eat it.
It's alright.
And I got to talk hockey for an hour and a half to someone who didn't care.
Oh, it
about
was for an hour
Or,
and a
or who
half?
didn't even know about it.
Yeah, I think she literally made up that she was from Maryland and she's a Washington Capitals.
You just saw.
Because she was like, oh yeah, I love the Nationals. I'm like, that's the baseball team.
All right. Well, if this girl is watching the podcast right now, leave a comment. Tell us if you're really from Maryland. If you like the Capitals, you have to name 3 players that exist, and
Don't Google them.
and maybe put a little apology blurb in for M.
Yeah. Thanks.
All right.
No, John,
I was thinking about was from Wisconsin.
Next.
That's my story.
Okay.
That
Yeah.
wasn't-
No, John, I know that, there's a lot of that stuff that went on in your school days.
John has stalkers.
You were
Yeah,
you were
really
dodging
He's
bad.
got
that.
bitches.
I'm glad that I'm washed up now. I don't have to deal with it.
You wouldn't think so, but
John got bitches.
I kind of expected that to happen because he's a nice guy and he's pretty good
He's
looking.
also very quiet, you know? Girls like
Yeah.
He's mysterious. Yes, the leather jacket.
Say that word again.
LJ. Mysterious.
Mysterious.
Yeah.
Dude, my ego is not gonna fit through that door. Anymore.
It's all right.
Well, no, I
No,
mean,
but again, like I said, like in
Kinda-
college, like he was always like the go-to. Like,
I
sorry,
appreciate that.
you know what I mean? Like he's gotten me out of a lot of situations. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah.
John's just living it up right now. We're all hyping him up. It's like he's like,
You're welcome, John.
But also,
every girl
he-
loves
We're gonna do
John.
this every week now. All right,
Not
Emily.
today.
Me.
Emily, what do you
Pick a
anything-
card and then answer the question.
Wait,
Traumatic experience.
What's
King.
okay?
Gotta take a shot.
Okay. That was a small one.
I
think they're all the
everyone's it by
same.
now.
It just tastes like jelly, but Jamie.
Because they are Jello. I figured Jello shots would be more, less shot and more Jello and more fun. Yeah.
Oh, wait, do I take it now?
I put a lot
Yeah.
of
Sure.
stuff in there. I'm not gonna lie.
I don't taste it. I just taste it.
I put paja viejo and vodka.
Craziest story? I don't know. Oh. Okay. So, in my college endeavors.
Oh my! I already know what you're gonna talk about.
I
already know.
I don't know if I should say that.
I can't look at you right now.
Do you know what I'm going to talk about? I don't know if I should talk about that. Yeah.
Go for
Okay,
it.
so
Go for it.
there was this guy who slid into my DMs, and I don't know, like I was kind of scared, but like Cass and like Jamie and like everybody were kind of like hyping me up and like, yeah, like just do it, like whatever, like just go for it.
Prospect.
So whatever, I hung out with this guy one time and it was like fine, it was alright. Then the second time, like he like after that one time, like he kept like texting, like Snapchat messaging me like, oh, like are you on campus? Are you on campus? And I'm like, I'd make up some like bullshit excuse like that I wasn't on campus because like I didn't know if I like wanted to like hang out with him again. And then like I don't know, like it was just weird. So then one day I was like, all right, like fuck it, like I'll hang out with him again. So I was on campus and he had texted me and I was like, yeah, and he was like, oh, like you can come over, like whatever. So I went over and like when I tell you, like it was like instant regret. But like I don't know why I stayed, but like it was just, like instant regret. Like okay, did I say he was a football player?
Okay.
Prospect.
So
so this is what you wanted X-ray vision for?
No. But like his like room like smelled really, really bad. Like it was like disgusting. Like it was so bad. Like it was a mess. It was smelled horribly, and I was just like I wanted to leave, but like I don't know why. Like I stayed. Like and it was horrible. Like it was a horrible experience, and like I did like unspeakable things to get out of the situation. Mid-situation.
What?
She can't elaborate.
But I can't. I literally can't.
Understood.
Understood.
Okay.
Things happened,
Sure.
but like I literally couldn't take the smell anymore, and I had to do
Yeah.
some like unspeakable things to get out of the situation, like
That's a
that
toxic
he wouldn't
situation.
like, so I could leave. So
Okay. Wow.
yeah,
That was
Alright.
like mine with
Facts.
the
Fact.
and then
Yeah.
and then
Alright,
he,
bet.
he
Yeah.
unadded me on Snapchat after that and
Yeah.
unfollowed me on Instagram probably because of the unspeakable things that I did.
Probably scarred him.
Probably.
I low key want to hear the story like
Wait, that
off
was-
air,
No.
just because it sounds really
It's-
crazy.
But Emily, that was like mine when I said I had class, and he was like during common hour. I was like, oh
Yeah, but like I actually like did something like that was like, oh, I have class. I was like,
Oh,
I was like,
gosh.
I just gotta leave.
All
So I
right.
was like, wait.
Well, that took a weird turn.
Well, that's like
No,
you
that's
know,
that's
like,
trauma.
one
That's
of
like
Actual trauma.
that's actual
Can't be
trauma.
spoken.
Yeah.
His room's not that bad.
It was so like
It reeked.
What was it? What is on?
I don't know, like it was like I guess like his like clothes or whatever, like you know, like
Like
athletes and whatever,
Mustangs?
like they're like fucking gross sometimes.
Oh,
And
gosh,
like
those
I guess
athletes,
because
man.
the first time I
That's why I don't
went,
play sports.
see, but the thing is, like I like we all love a good athlete, like you know, football, baseball.
Right,
Now I'm
that's why I
thinking
play
about
volleyball. Yeah.
boxing.
Wrestling.
Shut up. So I don't know, but the first time was fine, but the second time I don't know what the hell was going on. Like he just needed to like work on getting his like clothes in the laundry and like
Wow.
putting an air
Oh,
freshener
that's-
So
too.
basic hygiene.
It was
You don't
disgusting.
take care of yourself like that.
No, literally, like but the first time like it didn't smell bad. It was just
Yeah.
like the
But now I'm thinking about it, like
like horribly.
when I was like low key talked up a lot. His room did smell like
Right.
thinking about it. It was like that.
Like, I think it's just like an athlete thing, but at the
How
same
do
time,
you
like, if you're gonna like have a girl over, like, at least put like an air freshener, like, clean your room.
How
Or
do you,
something.
His room, yeah, his room was so
It's
crazy.
like-
Oh gosh, no. I mean, not that I have girls over, but I like always make sure my laundry is like. Apart from right now, like, I always keep my
Yeah.
laundry in the like
Like,
away, clean and like
That's
hidden.
a tip for you guys. Always
Yeah.
keep the room smelling fresh.
No, those are all clean. I
I
folded
never
them.
liked the football players in college anyway.
No, all
No.
the posts,
See,
like,
but neither
athletes are.
that was the only
Yeah.
time because like I always thought like found like athletes and like stuff like that attractive, especially like football and baseball like
Yeah.
top two.
I got
And
in a
that
fight
was
with
the
one of them.
first one, and I was like, nah.
Yeah, that was my
Yeah.
like the first one that like
Yeah.
I was kind of talking to, and then I ended up like seeing him or whatever. And no, he literally, when I tell you, like we were kissing, and then he bit my lip to the point I started bleeding. I was like,
Oh.
I got class right now. He goes, "Just calm down." I'm like, yeah, I got class.
During common hour we don't have class. Like nobody ever really has
No,
class. So.
no, Silvana, I was bleeding.
What the fuck? How?
Sorry.
All
buddy.
right,
Shit went for the other one.
Jamie, it's your turn. Tell us about your trauma.
I don't know. Everyone I talked to was toxic. John can vouch for that. Cass,
Yes.
Emily.
Very toxic.
Yeah.
Last year, well, there was this kid, like, we've been talking for, like, years, and I never actually hung out with him because I have, like, commitment phobia and stuff. Everyone can also vouch for that. So he, like, convinced me to
Wait, what is it called?
commitment phobia.
Commitment phobia. Okay.
Just, like, plans and, like, seeing people in general. Like, not even relationships, just, like, plans. Like, I
Yeah.
can't do it.
It's a miracle she's here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
no,
honestly.
literally.
No,
well,
really.
thank you for being here.
No
I'm like,
problem.
this is the I've heard so much about you, and this is the first time I'm ever meeting you, so I'm
I don't
glad
know
you
if that's
came.
good or bad, but,
No, it's good. It's good. I only hear
Mixable.
good things. People don't tell me bad things. I'm not here for that. I don't gossip. But go on.
So he, like, convinced me to see him, and, like, I did. And eventually, like, I didn't have the ick at first, but I kind of, like, was like, ew. And then I started seeing him more, and I actually liked him, but he was just, like, fucked up in the head. Like, he went away for New Year's, and then, he told me that his phone, like, broke for the whole, like, weekend vacation, and then I saw him the day he got back. And I'm sitting downstairs with his friends in the basement. His friends are like, "Oh, what'd you do for New Year's?" I'm like, "Nothing. Like, he was supposed to come over, but, like, he went with you guys." He's like, "Oh, yeah." So he turns to me, he's like, "Did you kiss anyone for New Year's?" I'm like, "Yeah, my fucking dog." Like, I don't know. So I'm like, "Did you kiss anyone?" And the room just went silent. And I'm like, "Cool." So, like, you did. And Cass had the girl on Snapchat. Cass was blocked from viewing her stories. I'm like, all right, even better.
Oh
Yeah. So then a few weeks later go by, like, I'm still talking to him because I'm stupid. And we were supposed to see each other, and he's like,
Yeah, it's
I
stupid.
can't do anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very bad. His mom's like, come over, watch the Rangers game with us. I'm like, okay, cool. He's like, I have to go see my grandma in the hospital. I'm like, okay. Idiot has his snap maps on. I look, he's at the fucking girl's house, 2 in the morning. I'm like, bro. So this is better. So I still didn't learn my lesson after that.
I'm still
saw
blocked, by
him.
the way.
Yeah, she is. That's my
I'm
fault.
still blocked.
And
still
I saw
blocked.
him again. He was going on a boys trip. He told me he's going to Buffalo. At his house, helping him pack to go to Buffalo. Next day, he's like texting me. I'm like, oh, like, how was your flight? He's like, good. Snapchat goes on fucking story. He's in Tampa. Not Buffalo, Tampa. So I'm like, oh, even better. So he's just like psycho, cheater, manipulator, drug dealer.
Oh gosh.
Whoa.
Wow.
Just throw
He's got-
Fun
He's got the
fact-
trifecta. He's like, oh my
Great
god.
fun fact. Silvana also knows her.
Yeah,
No.
even better. And to make it better, he asked me to hang out tonight and like get food. And
He's
I
still around?
you sound like John.
Ask her why
Wait,
she's still texting
What's going on
him.
with this guy?
It's just
I'm
like
sorry, we don't talk
it's
about
like
it for a while.
entertainment for like a little bit. His whole friend
I feel
group
that.
Snapchats me now, like talks to me all the time.
Oh
Like
my
very weird. But
gosh.
he asked me to get food tonight, and then I was like, I have all his friends on like Insta and stuff. He went to like Flynn's over the weekend, and it's like him in a picture with his fucking arms around a girl. I'm like, I sent him the picture. I'm like, no, you were just with her on Sunday. You want to see me now on Wednesday. That doesn't work.
I feel that. I feel that.
Yeah, it's bad. Ask John.
Get him out of here.
This is
I've been telling her
wild.
this.
My brain doesn't work.
How
like that.
entertaining must it be?
It's just like relived trauma.
It's just like there's no like you can't get.
But this
through
is
it,
what I,
like-
this is what I say this
Do you-
often.
do you see
Like girls
therapists?
thrive on
Do you see a
drama.
therapist?
No,
Like
actually.
yeah, this just
Yeah,
sounds like
maybe.
some crazy drama that if she just cut him
Thank
off
you.
and blocked him, she
Maybe
wouldn't have
so.
any of these
Yeah.
problems.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Just like, why do you need to be entertained by such toxicity?
I feel like I don't know. Every guy I've talked to is like that. Like even
Mhm.
he was bad. Like we literally went to see a Justin Bieber concert together. Like everything on the way home, like the train ride home. He's like, oh yeah, by the way, I've been seeing my ex-girlfriend. I'm like, what?
Wait, he just said he just.
On like the way tra- back? yeah, on
You-
the way back from the concert, just casually throws in. I'm like, oh,
What's going on with
That's
you?
really cool. That's bad.
I would have got out of the car.
I was on a train. I couldn't move.
This is why I don't talk to people.
I was on a train.
I mean, she could have changed
on the
train cars, but
Yeah, and then
That's why I
like
don't do
he's
it.
just like bad. Like he's in the,
I don't talk to
the
people.
Navy now.
Period.
Right.
And like every time he comes home for the holidays, he'll like ask to see me. He'll ask like me to
Oh
like
my
come visit him.
God.
Like
Oh,
he'll
is
tell
this-
me. Yeah, he asked me to, like if I would like marry him or whatever, and then like I'll tell him no, and then he blocks me, and it lasts for like 3 months, and then he hits me up again, and then re-blocks me when I hurt his feelings. He texted me last night too. It's bad. Everyone just needs to take my phone away from me.
Block
No,
these people. Don't
literally.
talk to them.
She literally, like, I've been telling her this forever, and she doesn't. Like, she just.
Don't
I
talk
just-
to
No,
these
I
people.
remember there was one night we told Jamie, like, we're like, put your phone away.
Which one was this?
That's true. There's a lot of nights where I've told her to put your phone
Or
away.
the
All
most
the
recent
nights.
one that I'm sitting in the car and he's like telling me he's like
Oh,
hanging out
yeah.
with me, and all of a sudden tells me he's done with his ex-girlfriend. Like, okay, cool, sitting, and like the car has like the what is that called?
Dash cam?
Yeah, no, a car, whatever. Like the text messages pop up.
CarPlay, yeah.
Ex-girlfriend's name pops up on the screen with the fucking wedding ring emoji, hearts and stuff. I'm
Oh
like,
my
oh,
gosh.
we're doing really good.
But you see, like, my problem is,
Down
like,
bad.
No.
I get intuitions about people and I end up being right, and I'm just like, do I follow my intuition or do I just?
See, that's your superpower. You already have it.
No, it's like,
If she doesn't
yeah.
listen to it.
Sometimes I listen to it, sometimes, like, I
No,
don't listen
but that's
Choose
why my
not
hair's
to.
been like 50 different colors because I just trauma diet.
No, God.
That's what I do with my
Trauma
hair.
diet.
Trauma diet.
Okay.
Yeah, it runs in the family.
That's
My
a
cousin
new-
gets
I
tattoos. I
cannot
get
dye my hair.
trauma hair.
You gotta break the family.
I think you have the more
Condition.
healthy, byproduct of trauma, which is dyeing your hair, as opposed to getting tattoos.
I mean,
That
get
poor
tattoos
dog.
a lot, but
Do you? Like,
not to like cope with trauma.
do you have
Did you
a lot of
see mine?
tattoos?
I have
Look
like
what I
8,
said.
I think.
Really? What's your favorite one?
My grandparents' handwriting, I believe.
Oh, okay. That's really cute. At least it's meaningful. You're not just out there getting, like, the Friday the 13th, like,
no, the stupidest
tattoos.
one I have on me is a wave on my ankle. Don't ask me why I got a wave. It's just like that.
Do you not know, or do
No,
you-
it's
okay.
like it's right there. I
Right,
know
right.
it. It just seemed like fun in the moment, but like
Okay.
now it's not.
I mean, I guess
One of my kids.
it's small. It's just like a line.
Yeah,
so-
one of my kids in school, like I teach
I'm getting
pre-K. I had sandals on for the first time. He's like looking at me. He's like, "Why'd you draw on your foot?" I'm like, "I didn't draw on my foot."
Did
He's
you
like,
draw on your
"Yeah, you
foot?
did." I'm like, "No." And then he's like, "It's right there." I'm like, "I know it is." He's like, "So why'd you do it?" I'm like, "I didn't." Like he was not.
Someone else did. I paid them a lot of money to do it.
I know, that's what my kids say. They were like, because I have one on my ankle, so they
Yeah.
see it. And like, ooh, Miss E has a tattoo.
But your kids are older,
Yeah,
so like
mine
to
are
them,
older.
they're like,
They're
"Ooh,
older.
like she's
Or-
bad."
Yeah, they're like, ooh, she has a
No.
tattoo.
They're gonna be like, you're coloring on yourself.
No, yeah, like I have one behind my ear, and I didn't wear my hair up often, but I did. And one day I'm just sitting there, one of the little boys, he's like running his finger behind my ear. I'm like, fuck. He's like, Miss Jamie, what is that? I'm like, it's an angel wing. He's like, an angel wing? Like, yeah. He's like, how'd you get that? I'm like, an angel gave it to me. An angel gave it to you? I'm like, yeah, buddy, an angel gave it to you. Wow.
You have great stories for these tattoos. I love it.
Yeah.
Mine,
That's
I
really
just
cool.
have 2.
She's just talking about her tattoo artist, whose name is Angel. But like,
Angel.
Angel gave it to me.
We're going next
Yeah.
week to get more.
Yeah, I'm getting my first one next week.
Tattoos are fun.
Okay. What are you gonna get?
My grandma's gonna write something. I'm gonna get it like on my rib over here.
People love their grandma's handwriting.
I'm gonna get my dad's and my mom's. I already have everybody's handwriting here, but then I'm gonna get my mom's. Like she'll put a saying, and then I'm gonna get my dad's, and he'll put a saying.
Wow.
Mhm.
Okay. What about you, John? I know you're probably not a tattoo guy, but if you had to, I know you've talked about maybe getting one day.
I have like 2 sections of friends where I have friends actively whispering in my ear to get one. They
Right.
tell me their boys do it, or they schedule it all the time. Like, John, you gotta get one. You gotta get one. We gotta go together, or whatever.
Sure.
And then I have friends like my brother who say, "Don't do it. Don't do it."
Do
don't
I
do it."
say that?
Yes, I think we talked about it.
Maybe
Well, I know
like
me and
a
Mike
while
have.
ago.
Yeah, I don't.
If you want it, that's fine.
I mean, if you want my opinion, you don't.
So
I'm
I'm
not just
like,
gonna give it.
I don't really have commitment issues, but like
Yeah.
for this one, it scares the crap.
But it
out
just
of me.
doesn't
that's
seem
why
like
you
you're-
have to, no, but
It's
that's why
so
you have to do it.
difficult.
That's why you have to do it with something that like
It's
has meaningful for you, like, and that you're not gonna regret in like 50 years from now. That
Yeah,
you're
like
old.
if you're not motivated to get something in particular, and you just like want a tattoo, and
Like,
then you
just-
work from there, I feel like it's less productive.
Right.
Like if you want a tattoo just because like everybody has it, I just want it like to get it over with. Don't do it. Like it has to have like
Don't just get like a
meaning.
Right.
Like it has to be meaningful. Yeah, don't
Sup,
get
y'all?
like a random like thing just
Right.
to
I'm
get it.
skilled up.
Don't do it because other people are telling you.
I feel like handwriting's just like a go-to thing.
Yeah,
because
exactly.
it's like, even if like the people, like my grandparents passed away, but like even though they're gone, like having them on me somehow, like they're always with me, so it makes me feel better.
And also too, you can't regret it.
No.
Right.
Right.
Okay.
That'd be a terrible thing to ever
I
say.
mean,
I had a
I'm sure
few
there are people who have
in my
regretted.
mind that are definitely
Oh, I'm
important
sure.
to me, would
But-
be meaningful. But just
My
like
cousin was one of them.
I have a hard time wrapping my head around the fact that it's forever. Like, it's
That's why
on
it
there
has to be.
forever.
That's why.
That's
it
why
has to
you
be
never
so,
get someone's name unless it's like
Yeah,
someone who's
Yeah,
related
no,
to
I
you,
don't
like
want,
by
one of those
blood.
Long Island Guido tattoos. Or
Like your
whatever.
mom. You get your mom's name.
I'm not gonna name names, but we have some friends from like church and stuff who have like sleeves,
Yeah.
and I don't.
That is
It is. I'm not gonna lie. I do
He
like.
is
He is. What,
pretty hot.
yeah. Right. No. They're both. I mean, the two people I'm thinking of are relatively attractive for men. But I'm like, they pull off the sleeves pretty well. Would I do the same
I
thing?
can never do that.
I don't think I could, but they pull
You
it
have,
up
to
pretty
have,
well.
you have to have muscles for that.
Well, that's all they do is they just have muscles. That's their entire personality.
I work in the
All that's
professional
hot.
field. I cannot have anything that would show.
That's my. Yeah, that's my.
Dude,
thing,
you
so I
work
can't
on
go.
Zoom.
Well,
One day.
Yikes.
when they let my team into the office. that
Right, when they
changed.
let you
That's
in.
my thing too. I can't do anything on my
Yeah, I can't. show
hands. I
anything.
can't do anything. I can't show it.
I feel like that's
I got
shitty,
away
though.
with this one because it's on my ankle.
I
Right.
wanted to get one over here, but I
I
can't.
said, yeah, I told you.
Yeah. I have a few. The ones that I wanted, we were thinking like sort of like thigh tattoos.
Thigh
And that's
tattoos
what
are
my
nice.
Okay,
ex
like.
had my ex had like,
On a guy,
Yeah.
thigh tattoos?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know who has
My
thigh
my
tattoo.
boy got like 2 and they look really great.
I wasn't talking
Did it
My
great.
ex
Yeah.
had his
How
full
often
leg.
do you look at his
Oh,
thigh?
God.
As a
Yeah.
birthday tattoo.
Okay, but-
Tattoos?
You don't like thigh tattoos?
The two people that I'm thinking of that have thigh tattoos, like, literally make me want to, like, no. Like,
So
because
just the
they, like,
association?
cannot. No, not just the association, but, like, they look dumb. Also, maybe it's just because, like, what they have on their thighs,
Maybe.
but, like, it's, like, stupid.
I like it when girls have like the side thigh. You know what I'm saying? Like they have it on
Oh,
their
yeah,
side.
like over here.
I saw. I was talking to this girl who had a big one like in red ink. It looked pretty. It looked
Red
pretty.
ink is so cool.
That's
Like,
tough.
where we,
I
like,
love that.
But then
lower
also too with
thigh.
red ink, you have to
Right
retouch
here
that like
and right here.
every like
They'd
2
be
years. And
tied
retouch
together.
it.
That's a lot of work.
But
But
we-
yeah.
My friend had red ink going
Yeah,
down her
a
spine.
serpent over here.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
representing
cool. I was
Matthew
thinking about
10,
smile.
16, and a
Cool.
dove over
She
here.
said it was
It's
the
a
most
reverse split.
painful tattoo she's ever
And
had.
then
Just
I would
for
have
all the ladies on the
a whole
podcast,
arm
stay
tattoo
away
over
from
here.
tramp stamps of any kind.
That's
It's
kinda
just
cool.
completely classless. Don't do
I
it.
have a
Yeah.
skull for my medical issues.
That's all I'm saying.
I think I hired a woman to tattoo my ass.
I don't know if you should do it on your
Maybe on the
thighs.
side.
To the side.
I was also
No, I
thinking
definitely
about my
want
upper
to
back,
get
right
Yes,
behind
you
your
know what?
shoulder
I
blade.
That's a
I
good
think
spot
on
for
guys,
it.
I think upper back, like I think that's
on
hot.
my shoulder blade.
Like not upper thigh, sorry, the back.
You
Like,
see, now I'm thinking
like
like,
the back is kind of hot. Like when they take off their shirt and they're muscular,
yeah,
And you can also hide it there.
like if you're just gonna put like 1 or 2 on your thigh, I feel like they're just gonna look weird.
You have to
Really?
do like a sleeve.
Like
Yeah,
if
no,
you're gonna
yeah,
do
just
your
have to
legs,
go
like
all
you
the
have
way.
to like fully
Yeah.
like commit.
But
Yeah.
I like minimalist like style tattoos.
Then I would put it somewhere else. I
Oh,
wouldn't
you
do it
know
on
what I
your thigh.
love, and a bunch of like girls that I know have this. It's like no, and you know who also has it? A celebrity, Halsey, if you're familiar. It's like a flower, but it's like just line art of like the flower on their shoulder,
I
like the
those
minimalist, like no shading, no nothing. It's just
Yeah.
I thought
I like
that's really
those.
pretty.
Those artists are like really hard to find though.
Yeah.
Those are hard to do. It's such a fine,
Hmm.
gentle tattoo.
It's like a different skill for them.
Mm-hmm.
Right. That's really cool. I personally have nothing that I would want to put on my body that I can't just like.
Not even like your mom's handwriting.
No, like really, I'm not like sentimental like that. I get tired of things. Even if I love something, like over the years, I'll get tired of it, and I'll be like, why did I even get this? I'd rather just like get a T-shirt or something and then like wear it out.
They have those like temporary tattoos.
Yeah, they're
too.
temporary ones.
I would be willing to do
I
that,
think
but
that
then
lasts,
people
like,
would be
3
like,
Yeah,
what happened to your
Yeah.
tattoo? The
Yeah.
girl, like you'll be talking to a girl, she thinks you're hot because you have this sleeve and then it
Right.
fades and like,
Happy.
right? It's just no, I
You're
can't
like,
do.
oh
it.
wait.
But
Right.
I'm not gonna lie, like
Okay.
if you have like
You have somewhere else to be. Okay.
if you have like a sleeve tattoo, like to me, I think you jump off.
It's-
Gotcha.
I love tattoos over here.
Yeah, like oh my god, over here, yeah, like all the arm.
I feel like I could do like with or without. Like,
I could do both, like,
stupidest tattoos.
Like if it's like tattoos, like too like there's too much tattoos. I think too.
Oh,
Like, there's
yeah,
just
definitely.
like overkill.
Also,
Yeah.
But if you have
tattoos
some-
and poor taste are a thing as well.
Yeah.
Oh, there are so many people
Yeah.
who have tattoos and portraits. If we're just
Like that
gonna,
massive Yankees logo
Here's
on
that
your
picture,
chest.
so
oh my gosh,
Yeah.
I have friends who have tattoos and portraits, but just think about like how many celebrities you see out there with like Pete Davidson and like all these people who just have these like retarded tattoos. Like you know the artist Black Bear.
Yeah, so
He's notorious for just like random garbage. Face tattoos are the ugliest thing I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah,
Oh.
no, it is. But if you think about it, like to
That's
them,
different.
it tells like their story of their life.
Yeah.
That's how they are.
Well, their
I don't know,
story
it's,
kind of
too
sucks.
much.
I mean, I get,
To you, it makes
Like,
sense.
I understand that they're
Yeah.
celebrities, but at the same time, like
Like too tired underneath your eyes.
Yeah,
And
no,
then
Post Malone, I love Post
wire,
Malone's music.
right?
He's very talented. He's a
Like,
nice
why?
guy, but like, what's going on?
And he has like the
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 barbed
barbed
wire.
wire, yeah,
I feel like that's a little much.
it's a lot much.
It's a lot much.
Did
Chris,
you
what are
see
your
him
opinion on
without
tattoos,
though?
Chris?
He
Yeah.
looks so
Or
He
Travis
looks good,
Baker,
yeah.
how he has it on his whole entire head.
Travis
Oh,
Barker,
Barker, Baker,
yeah,
whatever.
Travis Barker.
All over
Tattoo.
his
Well,
head.
that's because he's bald. I think he's trying to fill in his
Like
hairline.
getting-
Like a
Well, it's
no.
because the other conversation's going on.
Well,
I'm
Chris,
just curious.
let's get your opinion on this because I know you don't have any tattoos. What do you think about them? Would you ever get one?
I don't really think I had anything I'd get, to be honest with you.
Okay.
Is that a deal breaker for you if a girl has a tattoo?
Not conceptually, no.
Because I know from my brother, like I asked him this too. He said like he has nothing. He also has a tattoo. Like he said, like if he sees a girl with like a whole sleeve, he's put on reserve.
Yeah.
I'm good.
What is it? Is it a character thing? Does he associate like having a whole sleeve of tattoos with like poor character in the woman, or is it just an
No,
attraction
just
thing?
There's an attraction. Yeah.
Oh.
If you have them where like I can't see them, like that's fine. But like he was like to me, I just think like okay, like what's your profession then if you can just have a full sleeve tattoo?
Right.
Bartender.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah. That's,
I just kind of like the way women look, so like tattoos are fine, like they're okay, but
You prefer without.
like if they were there, like I wouldn't mind, I wouldn't be upset.
Okay.
But it's like if they're, I'm not like, oh please have a tattoo. Like I'd never be
Yeah.
like that.
How would your parents feel if you guys
Yeah.
brought home a girl
With
who
a
has,
full
like,
sleeve.
or like any like a tattoo at all?
If it was not a lot, I don't think they'd mind that much.
I don't think my parents would mind much as long as like her character was on point.